This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
And I wasn't close enough to one.
That's why I'm bouncing up there. We have new microphones, both of us. Now, Zarn, welcome home. How are you?
I'm fantastic, Michael. How is your Christmas? I know how it was.
Very good, mate.
Let's tell the listeners.
Had a great time.
Excellent.
And you?
Yep, mine was absolutely brilliant. I couldn't ask for more.
Excellent. Now, tonight we're brought to you by AussieTechRadio.com. And don't forget our leaders, the Aussie Tech Heads podcasting group. So we've got our Aussie. Sorry, I got a little bit of delay in my head. That's what's happening. So our Aussie Apple ramblings this week. So just some light stories to get us started.
Excellent. And g'day, James. Thanks for watching our first show back, mate, this year.
James, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, from Decomp.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent, man. Excellent.
Yeah.
We all noticed that the fireworks on our phone when we send a message or on our watch, even when you took the watch off before 12 o'clock midnight and put it on the next day, you got fireworks to say Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Another thing, we just had CES, which used to be called the Consumer Electronics Show. But this year, everyone was greeted on massive sign outside that said, what you do on your iPhone stays on your iPhone. That's like from the old line, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's right.
Just one interesting thing, it was on a Marriott hotel who had a major data leak last year. Now, another interesting thing from CES was LG and Samsung TVs get AirPlay, and Samsung TVs are also getting iTunes as well.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yes, we think that's part of the trying to get easy access for people for the new Apple streaming service for the movies and shows, and that they've invested billions of dollars in so far.
Excellent.
So, yeah, just a couple of light things to start with. Now, anybody want to be on our show as a guest, please contact Michael at aussiemaxzone.com.au. Now, another Australian
if you forget
story.
the email, by the way, if you forget the email, you can message us on the Facebook page, and someone will get back to you eventually.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, 9 to 5 Mac reminds us, Apple begins Back to Uni promo in Australia and New Zealand and offers free Beats with Mac and iPad purchases.
Oh, wow.
In Australia, Apple's Back to Uni promotion is Mac buyers get up to $290 off a purchase and receive 20% off Apple Care Plus and a free pair of Beats Solo 3. Now, meanwhile, for the iPad Pro in both Australia and New Zealand, Apple offers a free pair of Power Beats 3 headphones, as well as its normal education pricing on all iPad models and 20% off Apple Care Plus. Buyers can also get discounts on accessories, including the latest Apple Pencil. Notably in Australia, Apple is also promoting trade-in offers for both iPad and Mac purchases. Now, a reminder this week, we are brought to you by Aussie Tech Heads Podcasting, our parent location. There's a few of us under Aussie Tech Heads Podcast, and I just thought I'd tell people a little bit about it. We're just a group of people that do podcasting, all started by Glenn in Queensland, who's from AussieTechHeads.com.au.
Yes, so thank you, Glenn. And
yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Now, Cult of Mac reports Apple Watch is now a bigger business for Apple than iPod ever was. Now, Horace DeJew, in an analysis, believes we have just seen a monster holiday quarter for Apple wearables, buoyed by the smash hit Apple Watch Series 4.
Yep.
That device, complete with the ECG feature, looks set to be Apple's biggest Apple Watch seller by a wide margin.
Oh, that's excellent.
It also handily beats the iPod's 2010 holiday season, which represented the high point for that particular product line. At the time, the iPod was celebrating multi-touch coming to the 6th gen iPod Nano. The 4th gen iPod Touch had debuted. President Obama was discussing his iPod playlist with Rolling Stone magazine. So we'll see what happens.
And Karen says, Hi Michael and hi Zarn. Hi Karen. Thanks for being here on the first show back of 2019.
Yep. Thank you. Excellent. So obviously someone can hear us.
Yes.
More than I could. And I'm in the same room. Obviously I don't think I'm worth listening to.
So do your children. That's not true. We all love you.
Now, I had a customer call me this week who had an issue with her iMac. On the screen was a pop-up saying there is an issue with your iMac. Please call Apple on whatever the number was. She did this. They logged onto her computer.
No.
And said there's some issues.
Yep.
And it would be $90 to fix.
No.
She said, sorry, I can't afford it, and hung up. Then rang me.
Good.
No, but she'd already let him in.
Yeah, I know.
So they already had access. Now, it took me about 30 minutes to get rid of all the malicious software and adware off her Mac.
Yep.
The biggest issue being I was unable to change the browser search engine back to Google. It said Google, but it had a lowercase g. Had all the nice colors.
Yeah.
Right? But it was when I went into Safari preferences and where you choose the search engine.
Yep.
It was weknow.com.
Oh.
And there's a profile you've got to go in Apple system preferences and delete the profile. So once I found that, we got rid of it. Everything was checked over and over again, and it was fine. So don't forget, if you need to call me and ask, www.ithelptoyou.com.au. Yeah,
that's a really important, by the way, if you are a customer and things like that. Before you call, if it pops up and they say you call this number, before you do it, if you call someone, your IT person, whoever they may be, it doesn't have to be, but whoever they may be, preferably Michael, but whoever they may be, check up, because you really don't want to lose your credit card information or anything like that. Your identity can be stolen, and so it really is important.
They can get a lot of data really quick,
very quickly. So always check.
Yeah. And if it says ring Apple, look the phone number up.
That's right.
Apple's really easy. In Australia, it's 133 622, which is 133 Mac.
133 Mac.
Remember.
That's right.
Not 1300.
We want to steal everything you own.
That's right. Apple GarageBand has just turned 15 years old.
No way.
Initially released as part of an iWorks update, it has grown to be one of the leading music apps in the world. And I cannot believe it was way back in 2005 that Trent Reznor and Nine Inch
Nails.
released a garage Nails.
9-inch nails.
Nails. It's this delay. And released garage version of The Hand That Feeds. Now that track and others are still available in GarageBand format at 9 remixes. Sorry, that's wrong. ninremixes.com/multitracks.php. Yeah. And of course, I'll link in the show note.
And they're great fun to play with as well. And Trent Reznor is one of the best, digital and, acoustic musicians, hands down by far.
Yeah, there's actually a lot more than one song there.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. And it gives you an idea of what's involved in actually making just one song.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I can't believe GarageBand's 15. They're angsty teenager now. All this year they should just listen to nothing but 90s grunge.
Yeah.
Every time you go on there, it should tell you to go away and shut the program down.
But yeah, started off in iWork.
Fantastic.
Now again, this week we are brought to you by AussieTechRadio.com. Now I've got a little printout here just to give me. So some of the things that are live each week on AussieTechRadio.com. Of course, the award-winning Aussie Tech Heads podcast. There's Aussie Mac Zone,
which is us.
There's Old Fart Geeks. The Obsidian Loft, which is a Minecraft podcast. Geeks Interrupted, Two Blokes Talking Tech, Tech Webcast, Your Tech Life, Vertical Hold, Let's Talk Leadership, or Apple Slice. That's just an example of what you can listen to 24/7 in the background while you're just working away.
Fantastic.
How to stay on top of all the news and a few other things.
I haven't heard Apple Slice. What's Apple Slice?
Just another Apple Tech podcast.
Awesome.
I'm sure they're very good.
I'm sure they are as well. Not as good looking as we are, but I'm sure they're good.
Now, the biggest news was that the internet was broken by someone called Ralph. Sorry. Apple announced an earnings downgrade. The announcement, which is Apple's first pre-earnings release since 2002, stunned the market and triggered a 7.5% decline in the share price in after-hours trading. Apple outlined many reasons for the change in its guidance, which is now at $84 billion, down from billion dollars,
Jesus,
down from 89 to 93, which was the estimate in November. But manufacturing problems in China were not among those reasons.
So they weren't in the reasons for this happening?
No.
Okay.
Apple said that the issue was caused by Chinese consumers not purchasing iPhones.
Yep.
Which is unrelated to where iOS devices are assembled, because that's where they're made, isn't it?
That's right.
And like, before I go on,
yep,
I couldn't understand them saying, like the Chinese government saying, don't buy an iPhone. Because if people stopped making them, there'd be thousands and thousands and thousands Chinese out of work.
Absolutely.
Because that's where they're made. I just don't get it.
I was actually talking about this earlier today with my father. And we're talking about...
Stay on, Mike.
Yep, sorry. Yeah, so, yep. So I was just talking to today with my father. And it's because even over there with their dollar and that sort of thing, an iPhone's still very expensive.
Yes.
And so from what I can gather, a yearly wage and stuff like that in the country is only around sort of in between let's say $10,000 and $20,000 a year is average wage. So to pay outright for a phone that's $1,400, the consumer can't afford that outlay because of their week to week income.
Yeah.
And then that's why the Apple's struggling in China. It's not because of the trade war or anything like that, or the government saying don't buy Apple, because you're right, they would be out of work.
Yeah.
I think it's honestly because they're out of the price range of the regular person in China. And to be honest with you, the new ones are out of the price range of a lot of people here too.
Yeah.
So I understand where they're coming from.
And a lot of people chose to upgrade their battery instead of upgrading the phone.
That's right.
Just as an example. Yeah.
Yep.
But Apple also pointed towards an iPhone launch timing, a strong US dollar, supply constraints, trade tensions, weak iPhone upgrade numbers due to fewer carrier subsidies, the lower price battery replacements. Now, according to CEO Tim Cook, rising trade tensions between the US and China caused by Trump's trade war have had an impact on Apple's bottom line.
Yep.
Yeah. Back in November, Trump suggested that a 10% tariff could be implemented on iPhones and laptops imported from China, but thus far, additional tariffs have not been imposed. And to end on a lighter note, no, sorry. Yeah. So those tariffs have not been imposed.
No, not at all.
No. So have you got anything you want to bring up, Zarn?
There was something I sent you in the holidays. I can't remember what it was either.
I'll try and find it.
Yeah.
I thought I'd put it in there actually, but sorry everybody. We'll just try and find this.
Actually, I could probably find it. Let me look.
Not on that one. Not on that one. Was it the YouTube? No, that might have been the one I sent to you.
I said I would like to do this as well. 9th of October. No, that's not it. I've got one here that I sent you on the 22nd of December. It's not to do with Apple, but it's I sent you a link. It was about Amazon Alexa told someone to kill kill your foster parents.
Yeah. I don't get that one.
I don't get either. I've read that whole article, but we're not going to go into that because that's not to do with Apple.
Right.
Where was it? Maybe this is it. Hang on a second. Let's see what happens when I open that. We live in the future. No, that's not it. Or is it? Hang on.
Just while you're looking at, I mentioned the Forgotten Australia podcast. The last couple of pods. Sorry, this echo's getting me. The last couple of podcasts last year, and I still recommend it. It's a great listen. So it's called Forgotten Australia on iTunes.
Yes,
it's a really good listen.
It really is. I completely agree with that, Michael. That's great. Okay, yeah. So there's one here, but the attachment's gone. I don't know. I've lost it. But it was something about Apple.
Now, a couple of things to end on a lighter note. There's a YouTube site which is called Bad Lip Reading.
Yeah, I love
And it's
bad
over
lip
an
reading.
Apple product launch. So I've got a link in the show notes for that. It's well worth a watch. There's a couple that are really, really good and entertaining.
They're all fantastic. I love bad lip reading. We've spent many a night at home watching bad lip reading and just absolutely winning ourselves. It's great.
It's very clever.
It is.
Now, our show notes link each week on show upload, the link being, sorry, I'll start again. This is getting me.
Take one of them, Eddie.
The show notes link each week is on the show uploads. And also the link is aussiemaxzone.com.au. And there you will see the last 5 shows with the notes. Just click on it and you get all the notes. Away you go. Don't forget Spotify. Just search for Aussie Max Zone. Now, thanks to our sponsors, this week being Aussie Tech Heads Podcasting and Aussie Tech Radio. And just before the sign off, son.
Yep.
I hope everyone's been catching up on the Peanuts card on Apple TV.
Yes. So Peanuts has been uploaded to Apple TV.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
And there's
Who
a
doesn't
few
love
going
Charlie
there.
Brown?
Yes.
I used to love it as a kid.
And thanks very much to our supporters and you, our listeners.
Oh, before we do that, I recommended that show, that Eric Idle show the other day. Did you find it on our Apple TV at all?
No, I haven't searched.
All right. We'll leave that for next show then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. And thanks to the sponsors, thanks to the listeners, and remember, 2019, an Apple a day, keeps the Androids away. See you guys.